Hello, and welcome to Anxiety Simplified. I am Joanne Williams, and I am a 30-year veteran licensed mental health professional who helps clients who struggle with anxiety in their life. And I help them to shift this from fear to fulfillment to achieve their greatest potential while being happily engaged in life, and sometimes for the first time ever. Today's show is about how to conquer panic or anxiety attacks in 3 steps. And we will have an experiential journey. So grab a pen and paper. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, hot, sweaty, short of breath, and feeling like you're going to die? And you might say, what was that? Was that a nightmare? Where did that come from? That is a panic attack that we are going to talk about today because they are no fun. And if you have them, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if I ask a client, do you have panic attacks? 99% will say, oh, I don't have those. They might say, well, sometimes I have a little anxiety, but I'm not on the floor, fainted. So that's not a panic attack, right? Wrong. So then I ask, do you have any of these 13 symptoms of an anxiety or panic attack? Does your heart race? Do you get hot, sweaty? Your breathing changes. You've got chest pressure, pain, even some tingling or numbness in your hands, feet, or lips, maybe dizzy or lightheaded. Or have you gone to the ER thinking you are having a heart attack? Oh, like you're gonna die and you don't know what's going on. And they told you this is an anxiety or a panic attack. And we use those words interchangeably. I know some people don't, but just as I go through this, anxiety or panic attack, we consider them the same. And I hear from clients all the time, well, yeah, I have those symptoms a lot. And they seem to come out of the blue. And I can't figure out why or when they're going to come. Clinically, only 4 of these symptoms are needed to be diagnosed as a panic attack from our DSM-5, the Diagnostic Manual for Psychological Disorders used by mental health professionals to diagnose different psychological symptoms. Panic attacks do not come out of the blue. There are steps and a process that happen, maybe even days or weeks before they finally just kind of blow up. And that last straw sends them into a panic attack. Even if you're not aware of this process, that is what's happening within you. And right now, I am creating a new video course that will walk you through your own personal anxiety profile that does before it explodes into a panic attack to resolve them. Dean, a client of mine, told me that he used this method as he was riding in his car and started to feel that clenching in the throat and the chest, that a panic attack was coming on. So he started using this method and with the vagus breathing that you will be learning, and it stopped that panic attack right in its tracks. So in this presentation today, I will be summarizing my 3-step CAPIT, C-A-P, for a conscious action plan to conquer your panic attacks. And you will know, what is a panic attack? Will they kill me? Where do they come from? And why do I have them when I am at rest or sleeping? And how to intervene to stop them. A panic attack is classified in our DSM manual as a surge of intense fear and discomfort that peaks within minutes. And symptoms, like I said earlier, the racing heart, hot, sweaty, short of breath. And they generally happen when we do feel a lot at a loss of control, or maybe when you're overwhelmed. And they are followed by persistent concern about having additional attacks. These attacks affect change in behavior, of which one is to avoid people, places, or things that might trigger having another panic attack. Fear is the driving force. Panic attacks develop when panic or panic disorder develops when panic attacks reoccur and are associated with certain situations that create the fear, like crowded places or flying are some of the most common. And panic attacks affect about 6 million adults in the US, and women are twice as likely as men to develop the condition, and its symptoms usually begin in early adulthood. And it can seem like a mystery that is unsolvable for clients who do struggle to understand what is going on in their mind and body for the cause of these anxiety attacks. As I explain to clients, our brain and body are so well designed that even as we sleep, we are processing data from the day and organizing it and storing it to use as needed later. You may have been involved in an incident or a confrontation maybe a week ago, and it could be still stressing you out, or you're fearing maybe a plane trip that's coming up in 2 weeks. Your brain is processing this fear at night or when you're relaxed, while your mind is less busy. You're remembering, though, a memory of that situation from the past, and the perception of that situation that is not in the present. If you are aware, it can show you what is creating this stress or anxiety to help you understand how to let go of it or get stored right back down again to deal with later. It is the fear of the horrible feelings returning and the thought about that situation that has brought on this fear reaction. I call it catastrophic thinking, and it starts the cascade of anxiety to panic. Panic attacks are not dangerous and won't kill you, but the symptoms can feel like they might. A memory or a situation can actually trigger a terror or fear response that has been avoided maybe even since childhood, because it might remind you of that potential danger. You might think that you're even going crazy. So shame can interfere from asking for help. Or it could be a full-blown response to a traumatic experience that happened previously in your life that can create post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. If you have these more severe symptoms, you really do need to speak with a professional, knowing that avoidance is the key defense. And it's not going to be covered here tonight. This presentation will give you a summary of the 3 steps in my CAPIT system to create your blueprint to follow to know how to become consciously aware of your anxiety process that leads into a panic attack. I'm going to walk you through the 3 steps. And like I said earlier, this is an experiential exercise. So please follow along. Grab a pencil or paper or go to anxietysimplified.net for a free download of this process that you can follow along with as we do this. So step 1 is to learn why you have the panic attacks and how to deal with them. By retracing your thoughts to find when you first started feeling this anxiety that led to the panic and the thoughts associated with them that triggered the panic response. So write down any memories right now that come to you. When did you first notice these happening? Or think back to a situation when you were just extremely fearful. Remember your perception of that time or of that incident to give you an understanding of how you looked at it then, maybe from a child's view, and how you can look at it now from an adult's perspective. Totally different ways to look at it. And if you were a child, did anybody help you? Or were you punished for feeling this way or ignored? You didn't know what to do, very confused. What are your first memories of strong fear in a situation? It might be of the boogeyman under your bed when you're 5 or 6. What are the thoughts that trigger your panic attacks now? Notice situations, maybe before you fly, or in situations, in crowds, social situations that create this anxiety. It might have started 2 weeks ago, before that long flight. And you might hear yourself starting your anxiety process saying, oh, I hate crowds and long lines at the airport. Oh, being crammed in that plane like cattle. Oh, and I can't get out. Can you feel your anxiety rising? Keep going. Follow this through, because I guarantee it was a fearful thought that something bad might happen if you do that thing, if you go on that plane, if you go in that crowd. But allow this inner dialogue to be heard until you expose that catastrophic thinking. Listen for the exchange from that old memory, possibly, or the one from 2 weeks ago, and the imagined fear thought that the plane may crash, I might die. What about my kids, my family? There it is. That is the catastrophic thinking. You've been pushing this out of your thoughts, out of your mind. Your body does not forget, it protects. Your mind starts to think, well, this might be something bad that could happen, so I better just avoid anything associated with it. And the cycle continues. Since that day, your brain has shifted into a new fear gear to protect you from certain life situations. I call it the what ifs. What if this happened? Blank might happen. Better not do it then. This keeps the defenses in place, and it keeps the anxiety going and growing. It seeps into other areas of your life until the world gets smaller and smaller and you do less and less. Or you can figure this out and put it in perspective and use your emotions to show you what you need to do now. Your emotions will give you clues on ways to confront this and turn this kind of fear thought around to reassure yourself and cap it, intervene as you move through these steps. I see the only reason we keep worrying is because it has become an unconscious habit. Like any habit, we do it because we believe it will help in the moment, but over the long term, it becomes harmful to our health and affects our lives in negative ways. And I see panic attacks as the same kind of habit with same negative effects. So to change a worry habit, like any habit, you replace it with a new habit. Repeat it until it becomes the new, more effective, helpful habit. So in step 2, we're going to take a different attitude about the situation that creates the panic around specific situations. One study in Science Digest revealed that 91.4% of worry predictions did not come true. The most common percentage of untrue worries per person was 100%. So it's not effective. So why are you doing it? So we're going to talk about training your focus on reassurance instead, that you can handle this situation now. You're an adult, instead of being focused on the fear or the worry or on something worse that could happen. Remember, you're imagining this. It is not happening now. So if you're making this up anyways, why not make up something good will happen, as well as making up something bad will happen? We don't know. So start to train your focus. Nope, I'm not going to the fear anymore. I'm going to what's helpful, reassuring myself. Train your focus on the good things. Make sure you believe it. And this will be a key we'll talk about in a minute. I will find a way to feel confident now. I have been on many flights before, or been in this situation many times before with my team. And I'm going to focus on good coming out of this, or the excitement of arriving at my fun destination. Now we're going to add to this focus a breathing technique that science guarantees will calm you immediately as a tool to use towards this reassurance. I call it the vagus breathing. That science agrees it will calm you immediately to feel confident to handle this panic with success. Once you've identified the fear thoughts and turned it into reassurance, you can breathe to get to that calm state. And we're going to practice this breathing technique together. There's some of the scientists in Netherlands that discovered this breathing technique. They call it the 4 and 8 breathing. And that all it is, we're going to inhale 4 times through the nose for the count of 4, and exhale out through the mouth to the count of 8. And this breathing technique has been proven to stimulate the vagus nerve, and that's VAGUS, that runs from your gut to your brain, and has been documented as the key to calmness because it excretes a calming chemical, acetylcholine, into your system as we do this breathing. So I want you to sit back. We're going to do this together right now. Notice how you're feeling before we do it. And I'm going to ask you again to notice after we do it. I'm going to do the counting on my fingers. And so you just need to sit back and breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth as we do this together. And I will do 4 sets of these, the 4 in and 4 out. Okay. So I want you to breathe in through your nose, count of 4, and out through your mouth to the count of 8. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. One more time. Breathe in through your nose. And breathe out through your mouth. That's it. I want you to notice how you feel. I'm telling you, 100% of my clients feel something, relax. Sometimes people say they feel less pressure in their chest. Some people say they feel more calm or focused. So there could be a lot of different things. And the science does show that practicing it for 2 minutes, we did not do it for 2 minutes, but doing it for 2 minutes 3 times a day will excrete that calming chemical acetylcholine into your system. And it's been shown that in doing this after 25 sets, so maybe a week or so, if you do it 3 times a day, it will continuously excrete that calming chemical from that vagus nerve into your system to calm you. And it calms you immediately and gives you that tool to calm yourself, to build that reassurance and confidence. You can now handle your anxiety with an on-demand calming technique so you can trust and believe that you can do this. You can use this technique in the face of a fear memory as you are consciously aware of it starting to happen. Do the breathing anywhere, anytime. Nobody has to know you're doing it. Practice this. Step 3. This is the full plan of the CAP method. Refocus your fears now. These fear thoughts to reassurance. Breathe to calm. Refocus on reassuring calm thoughts to watch this anxiety melt away. But the trick is you must feel the reassurance. You must feel it in your body. You will need to practice this until it literally, you feel a shift, a letting down. Maybe your shoulders kind of relax, or a peacefulness, contentment, or reassurance. I want you to think of a time you felt that confidence or reassured as you did something. Maybe you ran a race and you won. When you achieved that award, remember how your shoulders were high, or your head was high and your shoulders were back. When you walked that stage, you received your degree. Think and feel that experience again. Feel it now. That is what I want you to feel when you shift this to reassurance, and anchor that feeling with a snap of your finger to bring it back on demand. Anchor that in. You can bring this back in a moment. Or you could add a visualization of a beautiful place, the beach, and it's calm and it's warm and the sand feels wonderful under your feet. Oh, and you just lay there and you feel so relaxed. Or in the woods, you could be walking in the woods and smelling the pine, or seeing the shafts of light coming through the trees, and you just feel the calmness all around you, the green ferns or the moss under your feet with the softness. And you can feel calm and safe. This can add to the feeling of contentment or reassurance by intensifying the feeling of peace, by seeing it maybe on a movie screen as you're going through the woods. You're watching this and you're feeling this with all the vivid colors, seeing it big and bright. And you can revisit this anytime you want in a visualization to bring this back to you. Once you've identified the thoughts that are causing this panic, you can change them in the moment and come up with some reassuring thoughts, or that visualization, or come back to that anchor that will help you feel that relief, that shift, and you can intervene and cap it. You will create a continual successes to intervene to stop this anxiety progression to a panic attack. Once you've practiced this until it is a new habit of replacing that fearful imagined thought, and feel reassured in the moment, even if you have some fear now, you will know what to do. You can take control of it. But the key is the reassurance of feeling the reassurance in your body. So start to refocus and say reassuring thoughts to you. I've done this before. I can do it again. I will only worry about this if it is happening now, not until. Push it away. Nope, I'm not doing it. It is imaginary. It's just an old memory. I'm okay right now. It's just an imagined memory. I'm okay. Feeling the reassurance. How about telling a new story without fear or the catastrophic thinking? Become your own superhero in your story. If you're remembering the fear in a situation, turn it around to imagine. Here we go again. We're imagining something good, that you're the superhero swooping in to take out that boogeyman, and you fly away and you're safe. But be cautious of old stories that you run in your head, that you tell yourself or others. The woe is me, the trauma drama, the stories of how life has treated you so badly. This doesn't serve you anymore to get to confidence or success with this. Get to the confident place. Have some fun with your superhero story to replace that trauma drama. Don't. Just have some fun. Imagine. So, what you're doing is realigning your perspective on what is happening now, focusing it back on the calm and the reassurance with a new attitude of success, that you can cap this anytime you want to control your anxiety. And you will create continual successes to intervene, to stop the anxiety progressing to a panic attack once you've practiced this until it is your new habit. Many of my clients even get a dog, a loyal, trusty friend they can count on to be with them by their side for reassurance. And they call it game changing. And you can see if your dog might even qualify to be a psychiatric service dog that I do to qualify people to stand by their side. And they can go anywhere and everywhere with you. And you can find out a lot more at anxietysimplified.net. Connie C said, the Cabot system we practice relaxed me and helped me to feel more focused. Then it calmed me when I started to panic. And I used the technique and it brought my energy back to calm instead of feeling anxious. I am feeling so appreciative to have this to use. There are many things you can do to conquer your panic attacks. Watch this show again and again to practice this blueprint to cap your panic attacks with a 3-step conscious action plan until you succeed. So, to your success, and thanks for watching. This is by no means a replacement for therapy or any medical attention or advice. Always reach out, take care of yourself. If you are ever feeling like you ever want to hurt yourself or someone else, there is always somebody standing by 24/7 at 1-800-273-8255, or always reach out at 911 if you need it. Take care of yourself.